All right, let me add everyone here. Hello. Thank you for being with us on our Sunday gathering. Each and every Sunday, we continue to gather. We will continue to gather and honor and love Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's legacy. Let's just do some quick check-ins. Let's start with Christina.
Hi, guys. I'm happy to be here on our Sunday gathering. Doing okay, just having a roller coaster ride a little bit, though. But I'm okay.
Thanks for acknowledging that, Christina. We definitely gonna today, just so people know, I just barely created the show just a little while ago, so you guys probably people joining are faithful because I didn't have the post up until today. But because of that, I think because we're just in waves, and so we're gonna acknowledge that we're still on our grief journey, and that the only way through the grief is through it. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the ceremony last week because that has helped, and just kind of being real authentic with each other about where we're at, where we're going, what we can do for each other. So thanks for acknowledging that, Christina. Casey and Stephanie, how are you guys?
We are good. It is, it's been a roller coaster too, but last Sunday, I think, really helped me. I think it was really a healing moment. I mean, I think I'll always cry, but I feel much better. So I'm so happy I was able to be there. How about you? Yeah. Girl of no words on screen.
Taking over for Deb Cruz today. Deb Cruz is, hey, Deb Cruz, if you're watching, actually on a little vacay today. So we wish her lots of downtime. Ma, how are you?
Yeah, the same. I feel exactly the same way. It comes over you in waves. Sometimes it just knocks you off your feet, and other times it just sort of, covers you gently. But yeah, definitely, it's hard without her being in the physical. But I know she's still with us all so strongly in spirit. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ma. It's sometimes you just need someone else to say, "Hey, man, I'm really struggling." To be like, you know what, I am too, and there's something about being able to do that together that's very healing. So for those of you at home, before we started, I kind of came on and I shared with everyone how I've just been in tears lately, and I don't know where they're coming from because I'm about my daily life and I'm sitting there working and I'm typing and I'm, not realizing I need to get the Kleenex until water's dripping down my face. And so tears of healing, I call them. And so that's kind of, I think, what's important to just acknowledge where we're at. Deborah?
I think the same as you all, the waves, but sometimes the waves are really huge. Like I was going along, I'm all good. I got our garden, I'm in the ground, I'm in the sea, I'm okay. And then she's back in my dreams. So I'm like, okay, we got this. We got this. And then Friday I was at the well center, and usually when I'm there, I make people cry about her story and who she is. And the bulletin board down there for her made me cry. And it was like, well, you don't got this. Because like you said, Ma, when the thought of just talking about her when her being is not in this dimension anymore. And it was like it all just crashed in all over again. And like, well, like you said, Annette, you just keep going. You work through this one and you go to, there'll be another one down the future. Love you guys.
Thanks. And I see Deb Cruz popped up. I just told everyone you were on vacation.
And Alejandro.
Let's keep checking in. Checking in. We're kind of acknowledging where we're at for those of you just joining, and Deb and Alejandro. We're just kind of acknowledging where we're at on this journey of our healing, our grief journey. So, Howard, let's check in with you.
Well, this right here is healing, just to come together and share our feelings. And I hope it is for the people watching too, that they feel like they are a part of this and that we're reaching out to them and that they can relate with what we're feeling. I will say that short intro song and those images of Toki, that was a wave of grief for me, just to watch that and see her looking so good. So yeah, I mean, things sort of trip off my grief feelings, and so you never know when they're going to come up. But yeah, we miss her, but her magic is still weaving miracles, as we saw a week ago at the ceremonies at Sk'aliCh'elh, and we can talk about that some more too. So she's still with us in so many ways.
Yeah. Thank you, Howard. Thank you. Alejandro, how are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm fine here, just surviving. So, yeah, it is what it is. But, about Toki is our love. We want to keep her in our memories forever. Now we have other orcas that we need our help, and we need to start working for other orcas. We need to start working to help the southern residents orcas, and all these animals need our help. They don't have a voice. So I agree with Howard 100%, doing just this kind of meeting, this gathering this way, we are keeping her memory alive. So this is the way. But the first 2 weeks was terrible for me. Everybody knows that. I was crying like a baby everywhere, even sometimes while doing my deliveries, crying while going from one address to do my next delivery, because, still sometimes it's like we can't believe what happened. We were so hopeful, like he would be going home, and suddenly, is what happened, So, I mean, our lives, God takes control of everything, even our lives. We don't know when it's our time to go. This is the life. But anyway, we did our best, and we need to keep going, moving forward in action, and trying to do our best. Toki will be alive in our memories for forever, for the rest of our lives. Let's keep going. Let's keep, how we can say, keep moving forward in action for the rest of the other, for the other orcas, and for trying to bridge dams, and everything. for them, to help them.
Thanks, Alejandro. Yeah, just a reminder for everyone, it's a longer statement. However, Toki's legacy: respect and honor her courageous spirit, educate others, support research, advocate to generate awareness, and strive to better understand. So we will continue to do that. I want to start. Deb Cruz. Deb Cruz, how are you? Are you muted? There you go.
Yeah, I muted. My computer started talking. Yeah, we just, we went down to Whidbey Island for the weekend, and it's not just the magic about Toki, but it's the magic about the whole Salish Sea and her family and all the other pieces and parts and people and natural communities that all get tied into who and what she was, made her who and what she was, and took who and what she was home with her, with them. And while we were out there, we were walking along Possession Park Beach, and we were watching the sea lions. Dang, those things are huge. But they were feeding and feasting and playing and just enjoying themselves. And I think those are lessons that we can take with ourselves, is to be able to appreciate Toki, to appreciate the southern residents, to appreciate the salmon and the seals and the waters and all those things that make up the beauty of the Salish Sea. So we have work to do to restore what damage we've done and to protect what's there. Yeah.
We have work to do. Thanks, Deb Cruz. We meaning all of you, have been advocating for Toki's freedom for years, and a song was sang at the honoring ceremony last weekend, and I want to share it with you, and I want you to listen to the words, and I invite you. They will stand up and they will face the different directions, and I invite you to do that from home while we watch this. Okay, so I know I'm going to. So if you guys are in a space to be able to stand up, you won't be on screen, so don't worry. But let's do this. Let's redo this, because sometimes when I wait too long, it makes me reload it. So give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Sometimes preloading is not the way to go. Here we go. All right. Let me unmute everyone. Sorry, guys. Just want to check in with folks. That was so powerful for me to hear last week, and for me, it was kind of a reminder to. I'm all over the place. There's so much stuff happening, and in my mind, I've been, for me personally, and I want to check in with you guys. I'm like, there's no rush. There's no, I'm not trying to do any of this stuff because it's not going to bring her back. And then I have to remind myself that I don't want to bring her back. I want to let her go. I want to let her be free. So every time I'm missing her and I'm crying because we were so close, and I just really wanted this for her. She's in the ultimate peaceful place. And so when I get in those moments, I have to remind myself, and at the end of my little crying, my own pity party for my own sadness, I I let you go, Toki. I release you with love. I let you go, fly free. And that song for me last week was a reminder of that. And so it's healing, and it's sad, but it's healing. And I just want to kind of check in. Ma, how are you?
Yeah, you can't help being human. That's how it feels. No, we can't help being human. And if there's anyone that understands that, it's Toki. But yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. And I think for me, not seeing her for so long with COVID and then not being able to go in and see her, that's even worse because I was there so often with her before. So I don't think, at times when I do have these waves of grief, like you and everybody else, I think to myself, you're not crying for her, you're crying for yourself. Because as you've just said, we all know she's in the ultimate place. She's free from pain. She's happy, and she's so much stronger. So that's what I hang on to. But again, I'm a doer. I've got to do things and make things positive. And that's what I keep getting from it, that, push yourself forward. We've got to help her family. And it is that push forward, and it's so strong from it. So that's where I'm up to.
Thank you, Ma. Howard, you were there, remembering that song. What are your thoughts?
That song did remind me. It just the way that it came back again and again to all four directions, that we're letting her go. We need to let her go together. And I'm still working on that. I do feel like she's, her spirit is back with her family here in these waters. And she is still working her miracles with us. She's still carrying out the magic of bringing people together from everywhere who becomes aware. Anyone who gets to know her story, to hear about her, becomes a part of this vast community of people who feel for her and who want to live out the best of her legacy. And that song and that whole day, that whole day brought so many people from so many places and far reaches of history together into one place for one feeling. And one heart and one mind is a perfect way to describe it. So, yeah, it certainly was, salving for me, comforting to be with everyone.
Thanks, Howard. And for those who didn't watch last week, the full ceremony, you can look at last week's TokiTV, and then I'll also put a link because Karina, thank you, Karina, also did video, and so the whole thing is also on video on YouTube, and I'll put that link up. Healing, and I invite folks to come back, or if you want the link to just the short clip of that song, or come back and replay it. Stand up and do the drumming with your hands and face the directions. It's there's something healing about that. So if you didn't stand up and do that today, I invite you to do that. It makes a difference. Deborah, check in with you.
I'm going to share something kind of personal, but I think maybe this is an okay place to do that. For Toki and I, it's always been about flowers. So I bought our flowers and I made the boat for the ancestors and for her family. And I kept out 4 flowers with the intention of being there for the people of the 4 directions. 1 rose representing each direction of people. And when Siamawit started singing that direction song, I was like, oh my gosh, how profoundly accurate that this would happen right now. So for everybody watching, just so you know, and if you believe in the power of prayers and thoughts and manifestations, I held those flowers in my left hand with a cedar, and I held it up into the air with each direction. And at the end, when we went to the salmon boat, there were 4 salmon. So each of one of your flowers went with each salmon. So for me, it was almost like an honor to just be there for everybody else. Like you say, Maud, like the doing. For me, sometimes the easing of grief is to do for someone else. So it was really, like I said, I had kept that part private, thinking it was kind of woo-woo, but there you have it.
We're all pretty woo-woo. Yeah. Thanks, Deborah. Christina, you were there.
Yes, I was there, and it was very moving, and also it was really peaceful. It was very, very peaceful just being there with all the beautiful people. And I just kept looking up, I kept thinking, they're going to come, they're going to come. They're just going to show up anytime, right? But they didn't. And I know why. And we know why. We know why. Because they don't have their salmon, because otherwise they would be there. So for me, the whole ceremony was just to push me harder, to work harder, to breach the dams. And the direction song always, like it's kind of, that one was harder than the others that I've participated in, because like you said, letting her go, it's really hard to let her go. But like Ma and Deb and, so it's like just pushes me harder to take care of their family, because I know that their family need us so desperately to take care of them. So, but it was also very peaceful. It was very, very peaceful and healing.
We're very human, I keep saying it's unfortunate, but we are, and we have to admit it. It's just we're very human. And if you think of that, I don't know if this helps anyone or not, but it helps me a little bit. When you think of the end game, we wanted to bring her home. She was going to be in sanctuary, getting stronger, getting used to the currents and all that. But I think we all knew her family was going to come for her. And then we would have to let her go. And we, in the physical and as humans, I think that would have seemed easier, because we would know she's we would have seen it with our own eyes. You know, we would have seen her leaving with her family, knowing they got her and she's cared for, and we would have let her go. And because we were also focused on that's the way we were going to let her go. You know, we all saw it. We all dreamt it. We saw it. We knew it. We knew they weren't just going to leave her there. They're going to come get her, you know? But here's the thing, they did. They did. And so if it helps, that helps me, because I think of that. I think of us standing there out there at the sanctuary and letting her go. So if it helps you do that, you know, stand there and watch her go with her family, because that's where she is. That's where she is. We know that. Sometimes it's nice to just remind yourself, you know. Stephanie and Casey, you were there.
We were. I think it was, like I said before, very healing. And I think, you know, Toki's our spirit guide now. You know, let's not forget that. And her family did come for her, as you said, Annette. They were there when she was passing away. They knew it. And I believe that she was with them always, you know, and they were always with her too. In that little tiny pool in Miami, all those years, they were there with her, you know. And I do think too that, you know, Ma talked about how we're crying for us, because Toki was very clear to us, those of us who gathered on the island shortly after she passed away. And we went for a dip in the sea, and she was very clear, don't cry for me anymore. Take care of my family. But we still have to cry for us, right?
Yeah. Like you said, Ma, for sure. The tears are our, and so we'll just keep being there for each other. But she's home. She's home.
She's guiding us.
Yeah. There's another part of the ceremony last week, and I don't think I caught it all in the clip. Again, if you want to go back and watch the full thing, you can, from last week, because we live streamed the whole thing. But right before Rosie sings this song, she was saying how if there's things left unsaid or something you want to say to your loved one, to your family, and for us, for Toki, right? For Ken, if there's something you didn't say, write it down. Sit down in a quiet space and write it down. And what was interesting for me, it was keep a copy, but burn the original. And that's what she says before she sings this song. And so I'm gonna play that now. But just if there's something you need to say, or something that you're holding in, write it down, so that we can let her go and move forward, like Alejandra was saying, and fighting for the others. So if there's something holding you back, it's not too late. It's not too late to say.
That's what this is all about. This is about healing. This is about unison. This is about all of us being one today. As I stated earlier, the spirit sees my calling. Oh, yeah. Oh, eh. Oh, yeah. Oh, ah, yeah,
Howard's nodding in agreement.
Yeah, that was a beautiful moment. It was so interspersed with the whole stream of beautiful moments that I had forgotten that one with Rosie singing that beautiful song. It was really, really nice, really beautiful. Um, yeah, I don't have much other words of wisdom, but the comment that was just on the screen from Rita Thomas is a lot of my grief right now, is that her return would be the beginning of so much more healing. And I don't just mean the campaigns for the other whales. Sure, that would offer hope and an example of how it can be done. But just an overall regrowing of what we have torn asunder. And we need to go ahead and do that in her name, in her legacy. But that she was such a catalyst for that, and it, we wanted it to go the way we saw it, and there were other plans apparently, and she's back with her family now, so she's in a good place. And I also agree that it's, even though she doesn't want us to grieve for her, she wants us to do good work for her and for her family. We're still grieving for ourselves, for our loss, our sense of loss. So that goes on. I'm sure others feel it too.
And for each other, I mean, I think we know for us, probably everybody watching and us on the screen, like our whole future was around this plan of how we thought this was going to go, right? Some of us were moving, some of us were, and Cindy said something on the comments too, like she was so close to her, she felt so close to her that a part of her left. But we need to get that part back, because she left us here to do more. But our work is not done.
Yep.
Our work is not done, so we'll continue to do that. Alejandro, I'll check in with you. Doing, because speaking of people doing things, you doing all right, Alejandro?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I wasn't there, but I can feel the energy and the love covering Toki. Like Howard said, we had to keep going, and everybody, I think, agree with me. We had to keep going, just doing things to help these amazing creatures, the southern resident orcas, trying to bridge the dams is the only way we're going to keep her memory, her legacy alive. So we are working on it, and keep up the good work. We don't have to give up, because Tokita was a symbol of struggle and perseverance, and she did her best until last minute. Like I said before, God had a different plan. We can't take control of our life. We can do our best, but we are humans. Everything that comes to life, sooner or later, we have to go. So everybody gonna die sooner or later. So I mean, we had to agree with that. We had to keep going, because we have more animals to help, and we are working on it. And keep positive. Thank you.
Thank you. And Christina will give us an update here in a little bit on the dams. Anyone on screen want to say something before I show the last clip from the ceremony of the actual salmon offering? Raise your hand. No? Okay. All right. Let's show that.
Yeah.
here can hear me, the spirit will see to it that the ancestors get the message here that we are offering to the ocean. We're offering gifts on behalf of Ken and Toki, Granny, my dad, Roger, Quashana, his name.
The volume goes pretty far out after that, so I just clipped it there. Rosie's amazing. She'll be on here soon, and I met Rosie in 2019. Actually, I went when they were made the announcement there in Lummi about when they were pursuing the lawsuit at that time in 2019, and she and I sat by the water and she sang, and I'm gonna try to find that because she did let me record that, and it was just me and her, and it's just powerful moment. She's a powerful speaker. She's a powerful being and a voice of healing. And so, Rosie, if you're listening, thank you for all that you've done and all the ceremonies you've provided for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's and for all of us. So, thank you. Howard, the ceremony was for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's and for Ken, honoring everything he has done for years. And I don't know if there's anything you want to share with the folks watching, just on that process for you.
Only that I felt Ken smiling the whole time, and it wasn't just his big portrait behind me along with Toki's, but that this was his perfect moment to share a ceremony, a memorable event, with the whales, with Toki in particular, and therefore her family. And that's where he wanted attention to go. That's what he tried to bring out to people his entire life, was the rich lives and the stories of her family. And so I just felt like, yeah, Ken's here and he wants us to have a party. He wants us to be this to be a good time. And we did have a good time. And I also want to, add to what you were saying about Rosie. She's not only a powerful spiritual guide, but she's also kind of a joker. She has a great sense of humor, and she coined the term for just general everyday use. If we're going to say agreed, in any way that we do, we should say okie dokie. That brings her right back into our lives every time we say it, and it's with a smile. So that was Rosie's brilliance to say that.
I love that. The bagpipes, was that a Ken thing?
No, that was a Rosie thing.
Okay.
She said we should have bagpipes, and they mean a lot to her. And I'm not sure where that came from, but she said that is what brought her to tears right there at that ceremony. I mean, she was listening to Amazing Grace in those bagpipes, and that touched her deeply. So that's why we had them, and also showed we're very multicultural here. We're not blind, and we appreciate others' music and contributions to our ceremonies. So
that moment was that the tears just came again, but they did feel healing. You guys want me to play that? You guys want to hear that?
Sure.
Probably everyone who hasn't is saying yes. Let me get that loaded. Sorry, I got lots of button pressing to do here, because that wasn't what I was going to do next. Hold on
There we
one
are. That's Josh.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful. Remembering, folks, that we're on a healing journey together, and the only way through grief is through grief. And one way to help is to do something for others, like we're talking about. So, Christina, can you give us an update? I'm not able to get the photos you just sent me up that quickly, but you can give us an update on where we're at with the dams, and then I'll add to that at the end.
Yeah, well, apparently the parties that are in the law settlement are in confidential, discussions right now. And there will be some sort of decision or not, but there is a deadline, and that's December 15th. And what we want to do is keep the pressure up with the Biden administration, because they're still collecting all of our comments and letters and everything that could help, obviously persuade them to breaching the dams now. So we need to keep on doing that. And I wanted to give a big shout out to Karen Anderson Davis for continuing her advocacy and doing her lights. She's just doing an awesome job. And Michelle Seldman, she's still doing some other demonstrations in public places. And our sweet Deborah here, and she's out there in the rain holding her sign, spreading awareness. And there's some other things that you can do. Also, like, I'm going to be going to a couple of holiday bazaars. I just set up a little table, and I have my postcards, and I get as many as I can signed. And then, there's Thanksgiving, and most of you, even if you don't celebrate it, you usually get together with a lot of people. And I think that's a really good time to, get all of your family and your friends to, write a quick note. It doesn't have to be like, a half-hour letter or anything. It just can be a, just specific, breach now. And, obviously the lower river snake dams and all that, but we can do this together. And I think that the holidays coming right now is a really good time. Just bring a stack of paper, a pad of paper, and some pens, and get all of your people to write a quick note, and then you can shove it into one envelope and just send it on there to the White House. Because we got to keep the pressure up. We still have a chance for this to happen. We don't want this to go back into court. We want them to make the right decision now. So we just have to keep doing what we're doing and make those calls. And don't forget that the handwritten letters, they're worth $1 million. So that's all I have as far as the information. But I just love you all for doing what you're doing, spreading the awareness, and that's what we have to do for Toki's legacy. We gotta take care of her family. So
I'd like to
that's all I
add
got.
a plug for the dams, Christina. On
Okay.
Black Friday here on Whidbey Island, I actually joined Deb Ellers and the North Olympic Pod. I got myself a little orca suit, got myself a name, but, and we're gonna be out there with that big banner and the flying salmon and the North Olympic Pod on Black Friday in front of Coopville on Highway 20, the intersection there. So if anybody is in this area, come join us.
Awesome. Woo.
Great. Coming up, when is that, Deborah?
It's Black Friday at 3:00.
Okay.
And then we'll only stand for
Day
about an hour because
Right.
the banner's pretty heavy. And then we'll go meet at Colleen's for a snack afterwards and then put
Right.
Deb back on the ferry. But I'm so excited. I got to join the pod and I actually already have my alias. So
And the orca really helps a lot because I always get most of my postcards when my son comes with me and he wears the orca suit because
people respond to those suits. Yep.
they really do.
Can I
Yep.
just tell you my response to the suit the first time? So I'm sitting there and we're in Lummi, and we're getting ready to go in, and we're lining up in prayer, and I'm sitting there, and this little tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, there's this orca right behind me, and Deb Allers is like, "Hey, it's me, it's Deb Allers." So that was the first time I got to meet Deb Allers, and she was in full orca suit. That was hilarious and awesome. So Deb Allers, I know you're watching. That was just so funny to me that that's how I got to meet Deb Allers, which is really cool. Someone was asking me about damn nonsense. So we all know, and we had John Carlos Frey on, and when he was in the beginning, there were the talks with Dr. Chris and everybody getting the pieces together for this film, and then they had that amazing anonymous donor who donated the remaining funds for that. So I talked to John this morning. They're in the process. They're doing their filming, you guys, just so you know. So let you guys know that he has spent some time in Lummi Nation. He has spent some time there on the Elwha, I believe. He's talked to Giles and currently working along the Nez Perce in Idaho, getting the salmon story. So they are in process, you guys. The film is in the making. And John, thank you for sharing the updates as promised. And we will continue to update you guys on that film, Damn Nonsense. So everybody doing their part. I feel like there was something else that I was supposed to update people on. And of course, I'll remember later and send out a random post. But Howard, anything else that we should be?
Yes, I just heard yesterday that the film Covenant of the Salmon, which is the Nez Perce who live up in salmon habitat in Idaho, have had a centuries long relationship with the salmon and have advocated for not building the dams in the first place and for breaching them ever since. And it's about I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it goes into their deep spiritual relationship with the salmon, and it's a motivator, and I think it helps inform where their actions and their words are coming from. So Covenant of the Salmon, I don't have a link for it. Do we have it? Right there, streaming on PBS. Thank you, Deb. Okay. And I know it's a beautiful work of art. So it should be seen.
Also, I'm sorry, I wanted to mention one other thing to all the people that don't live in Washington, because I think that it really matters that there's a lot of people from a lot of other places writing about these dams and this salmon and these orcas, because it's like, what are these people in Minnesota doing with the dams? You know, I mean, it's like, it's awesome. And it also spreads awareness about dams, which is what reminded me, Howard, because a lot of dams are destructive, and we need to take a lot of them down. We don't have to take them all down, but we need to take a lot of them down. So sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if I can just butt in as well, I know family back home in the UK have actually written as well. So this needs, well, it's gone worldwide. People from that are watching the show now that are in different countries, everybody, if you can't write a letter, just send an email or even just text, because everything matters. So you don't have to be in the USA. It's great if you are, but just get your comments in there and be their voice.
Thanks, Mom.
Awesome, Ma. Thanks, guys. Save her family. Save her family. So I think in closing, just to give you guys some updates. So next week we might have a couple of special people on. We will have a couple of special people on next week. Next steps, right? Toki's law. What you know, the Greyhound amendments. We're gonna be talking about all that next week, and then the following week we're gonna have Joe Olson on. That would be December 3rd, I believe, and Joe's going to be our guest. We're going to hear about some of the things he was working on in regard to Toki, and hear about some of his other projects that we might be able to support. And then the following week, there's a protest in San Diego. It's a little bit earlier, so I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do it. But Dee is going to go, and who else is going? Someone else is going. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She was just on last week. I'm horrible with names. Go ahead, Deborah.
Brandy. I didn't get to meet
Brandy,
her,
of
but
course, Brandy. So they're gonna go and bring that peaceful portion to that protest, and so they'll be there representing TokiTV. So we'll either, I don't know if we're gonna go early, we'll let you guys know, or if we're gonna have them record and send it to us. But they're gonna go be our voice and bring our energy to that. So prayers for all the captives, of course. Shemank, you guys, send the vibes you can. I know there's folks working on it, and they have been working on it, and so continue to support and send our love that way. I'm gonna end with and then Giles will be on in December as well. So we've got lots of stuff coming up, guys. So we have lots to do. I'm going to end with the video, the memorial video that I made by request from Lemmy. Shirley had asked me to do this. And so I'm going to share it because I think a lot of people maybe haven't seen it. We played it, when did we play it, you guys? In September, when there was going to be a ceremony? Yeah. So you have to excuse me. I'm still kind of floating, but I'm going to play it. It's about 10 minutes long. At the end, towards the end, you're going to hear probably the last recorded above water, of course, vocalizations of Toki. It's sad. And I'm just going to warn you guys, it's sad. It's sad because I didn't make it to be sad, but every picture of her is her in captivity. And so it's to me, that's the sad part of it, right? Is many of the photos look the same because she was in the same place for so many years. So while it's sad, it does honor her and the life that she lived, whether we feel that was fair or not. It does honor her and shows her and her beauty and her grace and the courageousness and the strength and all of that. You see that in the video. So we're going to share that. And at the end, just remember, you guys, she is home. They did come for her as we all had hoped and wanted. So we'll end with that. I love you guys. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. Yeah. All right. Good.
Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's